Alright, so actually hang on, let me just see that file, because I'm weird and always want to see the file. Yay, I see the file. Okay, so as it says, still in Trine 4, doing graphics quality analysis. Yeah, actually I initially launched there and there. Initially launched the game back up in order to look at some performance. Just quickly get that. I'm not too concerned about performance in this game. I mean, I had VSync on the entire time I was playing and never really noticed it ever dropping below 60, either in the number that the Steam overlay has up in the corner or in just the experience. Although one thing I did notice with VSync off is that you need to go to full screen. Maximize window, it was apparently keeping the 60 FPS limit. So, except for VSync and the window mode, this is what I reviewed at. And by the way, I'm in a level that I already collected everything in, so I don't have, because I haven't gone and done the 5th part of the playthrough where I want to go through and play some more and collect everything. So let's start. I mean, this is really the only option. I'm not too worried about touching texture quality. Yeah, I mean, my RX 580 has 8 GB RAM. It has plenty of space on there. And I can look at these, but right now I want to focus on the anti-aliasing. So I've turned it off. And I'll be honest, it isn't that bad. I can see some shimmering. You know, I see some shimmering here, and there's some aliasing back there on the bench. It really, to my eyes, aren't that bad. More so what I notice is and also, yes, I should be fair and point out that because I am, this is still pre-release, it's some things may change. Okay, so we're about to have some combat here, which is fine. I want to be able to move around a little bit. Oop. What the heck? For some reason it opened up the Steam overlay, and that makes no sense to me. There. Oh.
More vanishing monsters.
Didn't realize that I didn't already have those.
Maybe the prince is summoning them to distract us? The wizards did say it was magic.
I guess this quest isn't going to be straight.
But more the fact that it's like we're at 80, 90 FPS right now. That I'm noticing more, I think. You know, a little bit. It's very small, especially at this higher frame rate. You're not really gonna see it change too much. See much micro stutter in there, but it is possible to see a little. Now, one thing though, and I hope that this comes through in the video, it might not. Definitely be sure that you look at it at 1080, even though I'm actually recording at 1152. I don't remember if YouTube still offers the original resolution. It might not, I'm not sure. But also, by the way, one thing, I really do want to investigate this. I've noticed that don't trust the auto for the height setting, the resolution setting in YouTube, because I've noticed that it's like it'll say it's auto 720 or auto 1080, and I'll go and change it manually to the 720 or 1080, whatever it said it was at, and the image becomes much sharper. So I do not trust auto. Actually select it. Either it just hasn't changed that resolution, but it's going to, or there is something else going on there. I don't know. Hopefully it's just it hasn't changed yet, but it still is actually set it. Going to be your best chance. Okay, so right here I noticed it looked like there was a little bit of a stutter, but it's also VSync is off. I do not recall observing anything like that with VSync on, so do not hold that against the game. Just I am noticing that. You don't hold it against the game because there is an obvious solution there. I know I don't need to, but I still kind of want to. I am just hitting all the wrong buttons still. Alright, so... Oh, yeah, what... The reason I was even talking about that stuff. So, turning TA on. Yes, I do notice it does get it does get softer. I do readily see that. Now, that's... It's not bad. I mean, I was satisfied while playing, although I will admit, I never looked at it with TA off. but it is doing a decent job. I want to turn on VSync. I'm sorry, it's just I can see it. There's a little bit of tearing as well, so I just want to do that. And you know what? I'll even do that. I can see that this does make it smoother. So I would recommend that you have VSync on. I just want to keep going. There. Okay. So this actually may be a good spot. Alright, now, going to the SSAA options, the first one at 2x isn't too bad. Right now it says the performance is in the 50s, which isn't great. I mean, but it's not too bad. Now true, this is a 580, and SSAA, super sampling, is intense. So, yeah, it's doubling the sampling the resolution in the two directions like that. There's a lot more work having to be done. And it does. I don't think that I think it has addressed the softness. Yeah, I mean, if you look at her, she's definitely softer right now. SSAA, she is sharp. I can still see some aliasing around her belt. There's a little bit of aliasing over here that would be kind of temporal related. It's just like the horizontal lines, how they're lining up. Yeah, and I'm also seeing some aliasing down here, which it's not that bad, but it is present. Now if we go to 3x, performance is down to 40 FPS right here. But there's temporal aliasing here, I can see when moving, but when standing still, those spikes, well, up here look okay, down here not so much. If I go to extremely high, which now we're at around 35 FPS, those definitely do look better. Oh wow, but the lower frame rate is obvious at the way the camera's moving here. I mean, if you got a powerful enough graphics card, my guess would be 1440p class. So that's Vega 56, Vega 64, RX 5700 series, GTX 1070, 1080, 2060. Not sure where 2070's. Well, yeah, 2070 should also be in that. It would be near the top end of it. And also the 2060 Super and 2070 Super would also be in that. 2080, you're starting to. That's really at the top end into the 4K. At that, maybe you can put those. If you're running 1080, I could believe, okay, there we'll start going up to this extremely high SSAA. I don't think that's really worth it though, to be honest. I will admit though that the TAA softening is not that desirable, but I don't know if it's going to, even the SSA 2X, I don't even know if that's necessarily worth it. I mean, being it off, yeah, it's there, it's not too horrible. I don't think I'm going to bother with having real performance data in the review, by the way. I just... Ah. Alright, there. I think that this would be acceptable. I do kind of wish though that you could have TAA and turn the resolution scale up. Which let's it is interesting how you see like the width of the image actually changes, so how it's expanding it out. It's kind of just, you know, just okay. This that's kind of funny. The icons up there were clear, but yeah, this looks like we're trying to run a mobile game. Way too zoomed in. Nice and smooth. All right. Yeah, what does just 9.5 look like? Honestly, for the bulk of this, it actually looks fine to me. I mean, in here I can see a little bit of softness on the details. The aliasing actually stands out a little bit more to me, which would make some sense because of just how the spatial aliasing works. Because now the distance between the sample points will be a little bit greater. It says, you know, don't... okay, so it locks it. Because honestly, I would like it if you could, like, turn down the resolution scale, but turn on SCA. So, like, go to, like, 1440. I feel like just going to that, where not all the way up to double with SAA. I mean, MSA would be wonderful. You know, get me some sort of spatial anti-aliasing without breaking, without really hurting performance. Let's quickly look at this. Oh! Okay! That was actually really, really neat. Let's see if it does that again. I think I know what was happening. Yeah, those are different maps. You actually, I would not be surprised if that's technically a bug. So there's much more than just a texture that is on the surface of any object, any asset. And I just got a little paranoid. I'm recording it. Yes. Okay. There's a lot that goes into that, like a UV maps, normal maps, things like that. I think that's what we were seeing, where it was like reloading all of those. So, okay, let's... I mean, this... I mean, you can notice it here, but some other spots don't really notice it that badly, that much. Yeah, I mean, he looks fine. This looks bad. I mean, this is just, you know, certain details. Back there, you can tell it's not great. But it's not horrible. I mean, that is really neat to me, because that's like a look into how it's being rendered. Yeah, so this is looking better. That looks better. It has some more detail there. It's not a huge difference from where it was. 1K. Okay, now those webs are definitely looking more detailed. Yes, both those. Yeah, 1K is actually looking all right. I do wonder though what it is specifically referring to. It's just 1920 by 1080 is technically 2K because it has so many vertical lines. It has roughly 2,000 vertical lines in there, so it does count as 2K. But the number of horizontal lines though is about 1,000. So, what does full quality look like? It's possible that at this point it almost certainly will be diminishing returns. It's probably gonna be like there and there to watch for details. I mean, I quite honestly do not think that it's gonna be Oh. It's not happy. Okay. It's not on the right. Oh. It's not on the right texture. I should really let those load in before you try changing them. There. Yeah, 2K looks the same to me, and it's possible that the 2K and full quality are meant for even higher resolutions than I'm playing at. 2048 by 1152. I feel like I'd need to actually take screenshots and do the difference comparison to really spot it between 1K and 2K. I don't think it's going to be... I mean, yeah, this is a graphics quality analysis, but there's few enough options that I don't really think it's worth getting too into it as far as, minimum acceptable. 512, I can see it's softer here. This is definitely softer. That's softer. But it's also... I honestly don't know what modern graphics card wouldn't be able to handle. Even the full quality. Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be upset for a moment. Hang on. Okay. There. Let it load up. There. Okay, let me see if I can pull this up. What the heck? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that does not surprise me in the least. So, GPU VRAM utilization. Let me turn on TAA. And let me also just... Okay. So looking at that, because, hey, the simple keystroke command to pull that up is at 3.5 gig. This is the GPU VRAM utilization. Now, there's also there's going to be a buffer on there. It shouldn't be too big for OBS. And also because it's in borderless window, there'd be other things loaded in for Windows. But basically, we're looking at, for the system, my GPU VRAM utilization is under 4 gig. I guess there might still be some 3 gig cards that you can find out there. But those would be 1080p class cards, and... Okay, let's see what happens. Oh, that's not it. I was just looking at the wrong one. 1K looked alright. Okay, so it's oh wow, that's actually pretty neat. It dropped down to 0.13 gigabytes. Are you kidding? Oh, wow. It's at 0.88 gigabytes. There's a huge difference between 1K and full quality. Let me look at 2K here. Unfortunately, you can't see this overlay. So at 2K, it's at 2.2 gig. So yeah, even at 3 gig then, you can go to the 2K resolution, texture resolution. I don't see a loss in quality between it and full. I mean, but here, let me turn the TAA back off, so it's not softening. I would say that's the only setting you really have to worry about, aside from probably don't worry about SSAA. Yeah. Wow. That's actually really... I like that it was rebuilding that in there, because you've seen the VRAM utilization tick up. It was really cool to see. Huh. I can also tell you some other stats. So, GPU utilization is at 88%, now 12%. I guess it's figured out I'm not moving, now 100%. It's just fluctuating. It's the RX 580, so, and it's not overclocked, so 1366 megahertz, 2000 megahertz on the memory. It's basically just at its highest power state. GPU temperature 73 degrees. GPU power 100 watts, 105 watts. Fan speed 860, roughly. Like 62, it was 65 a little bit ago. It's not surprising. And it can definitely spin up more. It's just like, 70, that's fine, that's comfortable. CPU utilization, RAM utilization, neither of those matter too much. So, yeah, I like my performance overlay. Thank you, AMD. It's just part of their drivers. Okay, so I'll make a note. Make it a note. There. Yes. With Q stuff, but you can, if you are worried about VRAM space going to 1K or 2K textures, should help. At 2K it is under 2 gigabyte comfortably. Even better at 1K, though you might start to notice the lower resolution textures. With full quality, it was at 3.5 gigabytes. So 4 gig VRAM, well, 4 plus gig VRAM, and you are good to go. Yeah, and really the only other note to attach that would just be the whole SSAA, probably not worth it. But it's SSAA. It's usually not gonna be worth it. Not always. I do remember one of the no, is it the... Yeah, I think... I'm trying to remember. Original Metro 2033, I think it offered super sampling. But Last Light and then both Reduxes, I think it was super sampling. But 4A, I can never quite remember if it's 4A or A4. They worked magic to... You can optimize SSAA, is basically the point I'm trying to get to, and they did. They did optimize, so its performance hit isn't too horrible. There. So... And it's possible that this game will, over time, get some tweaks, get some optimization, but it's... MSA would be nice to have. But I don't know, there can be situations where you can't use MSAA. But also, at least Trine 1, I think, also had SSAA, so it may just be what Frozen Byte likes, what they prefer, and hey, good for them. Good for them, no issue there. Yeah, I feel like with anti-aliasing, so already talked about texture quality, with anti-aliasing, it's a... If you just play at TAA, I don't think it's gonna be too much of an issue. Yeah, it's a little bit softer, but it's not horrible. It's noticeably sharper, but it's not gonna hurt the experience, really. And you can run with it off. It doesn't look like it's too bad. I do feel, and this is definitely something that can and will change. Yeah, I'm just not really thinking about how to actually solve the puzzle. There. And again, lost my train of thought there.
Color of your box, Amadeus.
Does it mean it's now more powerful than ever?
I thought it might be fun to coordinate with my fine new wardrobe. In fact, I thought you'd notice the new coat before the box.
Well, I guess it's an improvement from running around in sandals without any trousers.
There were trousers, just very short ones.
I remember. It's what all the wizards wore back in the day.
Anyway, didn't feel like talking over them. I'm sorry. But yeah, the anti-aliasing, I mean, off is also fine, though. I think that this is acceptable. That's about all there is to say on that. I wish I could say more about the graphics in general. I enjoy these graphics. I like them. It's nice and colorful, especially in a world like this, in a setting like this. I mean, it's... I do wish I could say more, other than just I am really enjoying them. It didn't wow me at any point, but it doesn't have to. Not every game needs to be like The Witcher or Metro. It's... Okay, I can do 2. I don't remember. Does it state that in one of these? Yes, it is. Okay. I just couldn't remember. That's really it. That's all I got. Yeah. This is... I don't think there's anything more to really say there. And I feel like I should say at least one thing more. But no, I mean, it's the settings aren't too deep. They don't need to be. And I okay, let me do this. Is it still here? Yes, it is. Alright, let me quickly look. System requirement. Actually, wait, I should look at this thing for that. Alright, here they are. Instead of looking at Steam, I'm looking at the review guide for the specifications. I only see the minimum. But I also have the recommended in here. Well, at minimum, the GTX 960 or R9 or Radeon R9 280. Okay, no, that would be recommended then, based on what's on Steam. According to it, the minimum is the GTX 560 or Radeon HD 5700. So that's like 10 years old. Both those would be around 10 years old. But yeah, I can believe that a 960 or 280. If I pulled up my 770, my GTX 770, that only has 2 gig of RAM. I could believe that if I turned down the textures. I'm just thinking. It might not like it at the full 1920 by 1080. It might not. But I think it would still be able to handle it. I think it would be able to handle it alright. So, yeah. I'm not going to do a performance analysis for this game. I don't think it's going to be worth it. But definitely modern stuff in the current 1080 class, which would be the 580 like I have right now, 570, GTX 970, 980. The 960, it makes sense, would be able to handle it. I think that, yeah, that class and obviously everything above should be plenty for this. Should be quite fine for it. Yeah. That's really all I got. So better stop this so I can get back to the writing of the review. And yeah. Then the part 5, which will probably be in a playlist before this. Which, hey, time travel, I can do that. Can't you? Alright. See you guys next time.